All right, we're live over here. Good morning, you guys. Hi, Sandy. I knew you'd be here. And you're going to love it today. Well, hopefully you love it all the time. But there are those days that we do stuff that we like a little bit less. That'll work a little bit that way. How's that? All right, you can see the mat there. You can see the mat there. Let me get some lights on. Goodness, I'm running a little bit late. Sorry, you guys. I try to be super prepared, and the only thing I got done was to turn the air conditioning down because I always sweat so much. It's really gray and crummy outside, so how's that? Better. I think it's trying. So, all right, I got a couple people over here. So, who else is watching? Hi, Cheryl. Good morning. So I don't normally talk a lot about other stuff because sometimes yoga is just a really good way to get away from other stuff. Okay? But if you got my email, you can tell this week has been especially impactful, right? And I'm going to try not to get emotional about this, but I might fail. So some of you guys know, right? I grew up in Sarasota, but a long time ago, if you asked me where I was from, I would tell you about this. I live in this little town between Milwaukee and Chicago. No one knew it, and it was okay, right? And now people know it, and I'm sad. I'm sad you guys know it that way. But it's not the first place that it's happening, and it's not the only place it's going to happen, unfortunately. So that's been pretty crazy. And then, of course, California is on fire and 2 hurricanes in the Gulf, and we're very lucky to not have had to deal with that here, thankfully. We've gotten lucky a couple of seasons now. And then, of course, COVID won't let go. That won't go away. So it's been a little crazy. And a couple of weeks ago, I talked about connecting, right? And connecting body, breath, mind. And that's just a super basic goal. So today I thought of taking that maybe even a step further and giving a little self-love, right? And so self-care is the big term now, right? Everyone tells you, oh, take care of yourself. And in my mind, that means get a pedicure or give yourself a pedicure these days and take a bubble bath. Okay? Well, the issues that we need to work on, a bubble bath in here. So working on self-love is a noble goal. Okay? And just like with the connection idea, when you love yourself, and not just, oh, I'm the greatest at everything, because that's nonsense, right? Where none of us are the greatest at everything, but to truly love yourself. And then that sort of radiates and hopefully radiates to others and others and others. And everyone starts loving themselves and not hating each other so much. So that's where we're going to go. So we're going to keep it super, super gentle and sweet. Right? So hopefully you're in the mood for super gentle and sweet. You can always, things may be challenging, so you can always work, right? It's not, we're just going to lay on the floor the whole time. But we probably won't get up off the mat too much. So, and then of course, if you just want to lay in the deliciousness, you can do that too. So yeah, thanks for being here. I hope you enjoy this class. And we're actually going to start laying down. So go ahead and head over to your mat. Hey guys. So yeah, go ahead and head over to your mat and lay back. And if you need to prop to make yourself comfortable, I know some people don't like their head back on the floor, certainly prop, but as much as possible, be flat on your mat. And I want to bring you to this idea of being completely safe and supported. So find that place on your mat. Your back muscles can release, your head can release, all the weight of your body resting back on the mat. And let the mind settle into that idea as well. And especially that we're not together and no one can see you, right? Just allow yourself to relax into this place. And it gets a bad rap kind of thing, but let this be your safe space. This is a truly safe place. So keeping that sensation in your mind, bring your awareness to your breath. And we're going to gently begin to expand into that breath. As always, finding that place just beyond comfortable so that the awareness has to stay with the breath, but not so big that it's a ton of work. And just allowing your mind and even your body, right, even though we won't be laying down the whole time, even your body to remain in this just very aware, very supported, gentle space. If the feet are not already flat to the floor, go ahead and bend your knees, bring your feet flat. Keep your eyes closed. And again, staying in this space in your mind, gentle with the body. Slowly make your way over to the side and up to your seated position. Take the time to sit well, feeling grounded and rooted into the pelvis. Tall through the spine, expansive in the side ribs. Still maintaining that nice, easy breath. And then we're just going to start off nice and gentle here. So with your next exhale, drop your chin down to your chest. Feel a nice stretch up the back of the neck. And then inhaling, lift your face toward the ceiling, keeping the back of the neck nice and long. Exhale, take it back down again. One more time, inhale and lift. And then bring your face back to the middle. Inhale here, nice big breath in. Exhaling, turn your face to the right. Connected to the breath here, coming back to center on the inhale. And then exhale, take it over to the left. Come on back to the middle, inhaling. Turning the head back over to the right. Let the chin roll toward the shoulder and then all the way down to the center of the chest. Inhale your head back to the center. And then exhale, take your face over to the left and let the chin roll down. So this time here, we're gonna leave the chin down to the chest. And then connected to the breath here, on an inhale, just roll your right ear over toward your right shoulder. Exhale, take it back down to the center again. And then over to the left. And back to the middle. So just gently side to side like that. Connected to your breath. If you want to roll back a little bit, you're welcome to do that. Just keep the back of the neck nice and long. Keep your eyes closed. Just this lovely, gentle stretch. So make yourself even right and left here. And then when you are even, just go ahead and inhale, lift your face up toward a neutral position here. Still sitting nice and tall. Let's activate the arms, extending them out to the sides. And then with the inhale, reaching them up. Exhaling, bring it back down. Let's do it again. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. We'll come back to the top. Inhale. And then take the right hand back to the mat. Give yourself a little tip over to that side. Keeping the pelvis rooted. Find that foundation. Extend long through the crown of your head. And then back up to the middle, inhaling. Take it to the left. Nice full breath here. And then back to center again. Once more on either side like that. Following the breath, take it right. Find a deeper stretch if you're ready for that. And then back to center. Over to the left. Coming back up to the middle on an inhale. Exhaling, releasing the hands back to the mat. Let's bring the left hand over to the right knee. Right hand back behind the body a little bit. Nice, gentle, easy twist here. Rooting into the foundation, extending out the crown of your head. Feeling the breath. And then back to the center again, taking it to our second side. Gentle to start, finding where you need the stretch today. And then back to the middle, taking it over to the first side and working deeper into this one. So using your arms, rotating around into wherever the twist needs to be for you. Feeling even and tall, rooted. And then gently unwinding that twist and taking the second side. Let's come back to center. And we'll bring the soles of the feet together here. Hang on to the ankles, draw your heels in, sitting extra tall. So just let the legs be heavy. Extending out the crown of your head, feel that opposite direction idea. And then if you want more, of course, elbows to the inner hips, tipping forward, belly button to the heels-ish. Find the extension through your spine, keeping the shoulders back. We'll take another nice big breath. And then gently hinge back up again. So let's extend the legs long in front. Adjusting your seat, always feeling that nice even foundation with the pelvis. We want to sit really tall. And then inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhaling as you hinge forward, coming into a float. So you can definitely use that trick that we used a couple of weeks ago with the breath, right? Inhaling to lift you up out of the stretch a little bit, and then exhaling as you fall a little bit deeper back in. So play with that. If you love it, use it. If it doesn't speak to you, don't worry about it. Finding that nice gentle stretch and maybe staying in that easier stretch. Maybe what your body needs today is to be a little bit more gentle. And maybe what your body needs from you is to move really deep and really get into those stretches. Take your time, of course. But find what your body tells you. Where you should be today. With the next inhale, we're going to bring ourselves back up again. Reach for the ceiling, and then release the arms. And we'll take the feet out into a straddle. So remember, this is early. So you take your feet as wide as they need to be early. Maybe different later, but for now, let it be. Sitting up tall, rooted through the pelvis. Inhale, stretch your arms up. We're going to rotate around toward the left leg and then fold over that leg. So make sure the pelvis stays rooted. Letting the hands fall to either side so we're not reaching for the toes. Keep the shoulders down and back. And you can use the left hand pressing a little harder into the mat to kind of rotate the belly and the chest more square toward the floor, if that's where you need to be. We'll take one more breath here. And on an inhale, bring yourself back up to center. We'll rotate to the right and do the exact same thing. So just let the hands fall. Find your foundation. Find that supported place for your pelvis. Nice, easy breaths. And even here, working into that idea of lifting a little bit out and then sinking a little bit in with the breath. Using the hands to kind of guide the belly around when you're ready. If you're ready. We'll take one more breath. And then let's inhale, lifting up. Releasing the arms back to center here. We'll take the left hand and pin it up underneath the right arm. Inhaling as we reach the right arm up, we're going to hinge over toward the left toes here. See about bringing your elbow more toward the floor. Get into that inner thigh here a little bit. And then press against it, this time rotating the belly button toward the ceiling instead of the floor. Keeping the shoulder drawn back. The pelvis rooted in the spine nice and tall. So the body weight gently pulls you into the stretch. Take one more breath. And then inhaling on the way back up again. And then switching sides. So take the right hand and pin it up underneath here. Left arm is reaching up, hinging over. Elbow to the inner thigh as much as you can manage to get a little leverage there. And then pressing against it so we can rotate around, belly toward the ceiling. Big full breaths. Find the place where your body wants to be here. And then on an inhale, make your way back up again. Releasing the hands to center again. So we want to sit nice and tall. And then we're just going to simply hinge forward, wherever that is. So remember, if you have props, you can certainly use your props anywhere you like, but here for sure. Feeling even on your pelvis, really tall through your spine. Work to keep the shoulders down and back. And on an inhale, we're going to make our way back up again. And then bring the feet back together. Shake them out a little bit. You get stuck sometimes there. Let's bring ourselves around onto hands and knees. And we will be on our hands a little bit today, because again, we're not really doing any standing poses. So the hands are a big part of the foundation here. So spreading your fingers nice and wide, feeling even on the four corners. And then here we're just going to move into some cat-cows. So on the inhale, drop the belly toward the floor. And with the exhale, round your spine toward the ceiling. And just like with everything so far, gradually allow your spine to move a little bit deeper, or maybe keep it more gentle. Connected to the breath. And you can even keep your eyes closed here if you like. We'll take one more flow. And then find a middle. So that nice neutral spine, easy foundation with the hands, right? Make sure the belly's pulled in to support the lower back. And we're going to extend the right leg straight back. So heel in line with the hip here. And we want to make that leg straight and strong. Seeing if you can feel the hamstring engaging at least as much as your glute. And then when you're ready, take that left arm and stretch forward. So again, the belly's pulled in. Head's in line with the spine. Maybe you're wobbling a little bit, and that's normal. Let's release it back down. And then we'll switch sides. So extending the left arm. Pressing through the heel, flex that foot nice and firm. We'll reach forward with the right arm. Nice big breaths. And then release back down again. So we're going to add on to that, of course. All right. Go ahead and extend your right leg and left arm again. And if it was a balance challenge enough here, then you don't have to add anything, of course. But maybe on the exhale, draw your elbow and knee together underneath the body. And then inhale and stretch out long again. So exhale as you squeeze in. Inhale as you stretch out. And maybe you can work a little deeper. Maybe you're just happy not to be wobbling all over the place. Find where your body needs to be. We're going to go once more. Stretch it out long. And then release hand and knee to the mat. So that exact same idea to our second side, left leg and right arm. When you're ready, connected to the breath, exhaling as you pull in. Inhaling, stretch long. In and out. Let's go once more. Stretching out and then releasing back down again. So we've got one more here. Extending the right leg and left arm again. And then bending out the right knee. Take the left hand back there and see about finding your foot. Keeping the belly pulled in, the pelvis squares the floor. You can press the foot into the hand and get a little extra shoulder stretch. Or lift your toes a little higher. Keep the knee pointing down rather than out to the side. Make sure you're breathing. Connected to with what your body needs from you. Let's gently release that, stretch it long, and then down. Taking the second side, left leg and right arm. And when you're ready, finding the foot. Don't be surprised if one side is a little different than the other. Find where it is here rather than looking for where it was on the other side. We'll take one more breath. And then gently release, stretching long. And coming back down again. So gently here, go ahead and make your way back into a child's pose. Take your time. Remember, you can have your knees a little closer together or a little further apart. You can have your hands extending forward or your hands back by your heels. So let's go ahead and slide forward into your hands and knees again. And then here, we're going to take the left hand, palm up, leaving it underneath. So maybe dropping just down to your forearm or extending out to the right enough so that your shoulder comes to the floor. Make sure you stay even on your foundation. So we don't want to lean into one side or the other with the knees. You can press more into your right hand or rotate the belly around into our twist here. Drawing the shoulder back, maybe looking up. And of course, you can extend the right arm up toward the ceiling and add the fancy little balance in, stepping the right foot back and then lifting the toes. Remember, there are always variations and each day might be a little different. See what your body wants from you. We're going to gently release what we got. Coming back into that all fours position again. And then switching sides, taking the right hand and leaving it under. Whether you're coming down to your forearm or all the way down to the shoulder is entirely up to you. And play with it. Sometimes it's more challenging to stay up on the forearm if you're adding balance. So see what happens. If you're just looking for a deeper twist, of course the shoulder will come down. So adding in what's right for you on this side. Staying strong and supported. Even on the foundation. And then we're gently going to release. Coming back into the all fours again. So instead of being in this tabletop, let's go ahead and come into a kneeling plank. Belly's in, shoulders are back. Still nice and even on the four corners of the hands. And then we're going to stay here maybe. We're going to hold our plank for a little bit. So maybe on the knees, maybe up away from the knees. And just hold. Nothing fancy, nothing special. Decide where your body needs to be, what is enough work. And then we're going to make our way into down dog. So just allow yourself to move and stretch a little bit here.
and then settling into it. So the foundation of the hands, pressing the chest back until you feel enough stretch in your shoulders and your hamstrings. Let the heels move to the floor, but don't be too connected to whether they touch or not. If it happens, yay. If it doesn't, don't worry. So let's go ahead and lift the right leg. Extend through the heels. Find that nice big stretch for the body here. And then allow the right hip to open, taking the toes higher. You can bend at the knee. Maybe look over your left shoulder for your toes over there. Maybe not. Try not to let the left shoulder dip. And then release that side. And we'll switch. So lifting the left leg. Make the body really long here. Opening up the hip and bending at the knee. And then releasing that back down again. Let's go ahead and drop back to the knees. Take that child's pose again. So then back to our down dog. And this time here, let's go ahead and step the right foot forward, coming to lunge. Dropping down to the back knee, and then taking the right leg straight. Shoulders down and back, belly's in. Finding enough stretch. Finding that nice, even, stable foundation between the right heel here and the left knee. Maybe your hands are a bigger part of that, maybe not. We'll bend into the knee. And let the hips come down. Extending out the crown of the head, let's add in a twist here. Right hand to the hip and rotate around. And then release the twist and take the right leg straight again. Bending into the knee one more time. Finding stable, and then climbing the hands up to the thigh here. You can also use blocks to bring the upper body more vertical if you prefer. Continue to sink into your hips, extending out through the crown of the head, and then extending the arms. Make sure the belly's working, keeping the pelvis in this neutral position. Let's gently release that back down again, and we're going to make our way back to down dog. So let's switch to the second side, bringing the left foot forward and dropping the right knee. Always looking for your knee ankle alignment here, of course. Taking the left leg straight when you're ready. Bending back into the knee. Extend out through the crown of your head here, and bring the left hand to the hip to add in your twist. Nice and gentle, find where it is over here. And then let's release. Straight leg again. One more time, then bending into the knee, sinking low. Staying low if that's you, or climbing up. Bringing the upper body more vertical, extending the arms if that's where you'd like to be. And then we're going to release that back down and make our way back to that down dog. So let's drop on down to the knees again. And this time we're going to come sit up on the heels. Right, so you know, right? You can always take your block, put it between your feet. You don't want to set it on your feet. Put it between your feet, and then you can set your bottom down on your block to make this more accessible. So if you're on your heels, right, go ahead and open your heels enough, your feet enough, so that the heels are on either side of your hips. Right? And you want the knees to open evenly with them. Right? So you wouldn't want your knees together and your feet wide, or vice versa. Right? Not here anyway. So belly's pulled in. You can absolutely stay here, but maybe come forward and out onto your belly. So we're going to press the pelvis down into the floor without squeezing the glutes. Right? We want to keep the tailbone turning toward the heels, so avoid squeezing your buns and lifting your tailbone. Press back up, and then sit back between your heels again. So propped or not propped, either way is fine here where we are. We're going to do that again. Now we're going to come forward and down to the belly. This time here, press the pelvis into the floor, keep the tailbone turning down. Feel as if you're pressing your thighs and your belly down into the floor as well. And then we're going to push back up and sit back between the heels again. Let's do that one more time. Come forward and down. Here we're going to press down with everything we've got. So just make sure that the tailbone stays turning down toward the heels so your lower back does not pinch. You're going to press your pelvis into the floor, the tops of the thighs, your belly down into the floor. You can even squeeze your buns here as long as it doesn't pinch up your lower back. And then sit back between your heels again. And so maybe you're done with this position. You can absolutely stay here and stay propped. If you are going to be propped though, if you're going to have a block underneath your bottom, I'm going to recommend that you stay vertical, or mostly vertical anyway. If you are going to go a little bit deeper, you'll want to move forward on your mat just so you have something other than the hard floor to lay against when you go down. So if you're propped, maybe just hands to feet, right? Opening the chest. Keeping the tailbone tucked under again, no pinching in the lower back. And this can be you. If you'd like, you can bring an elbow to the floor back there, or two. So we want to make sure that the shins stay on the floor, the knees are down and not wide. Right? The head and neck stay comfortable. If you can drop back to your shoulders, certainly go ahead and drop on back to your shoulders. And if it's accessible, you can even take the arms up overhead and maybe grab opposite elbow up there. So again, listen to what your body needs. This is a loud and clear kind of place. Make sure you're doing what's right for you this morning. So we're going to take one more breath here. And then very gently make your way back up to a neutral place. Hang out in this neutral place for just a little second. From there, slowly come forward, all fours. And then let's move into one more down dog. So just let everything stretch here, your spine, your legs. And then let's come back into our all fours position. So let's kind of step on the heels again, but we're not going to work with that anymore, I promise. Okay? So we're going to be on the tops of the knees though, and if you need some extra cushion, give yourself some extra cushion. So a really similar place to where we just were. Some places are a little bit deeper and some places are not so much. So when your knees are happy, just come up to the tops of your knees. And let's go ahead and tuck the toes under today. You can always take the flat foot variation and not worry about anything else. Again, what your body needs from you. So you may want to support the lower back with your hands on either side of the lower back. You can take and interlace your fingers and draw your shoulder blades together. Let's start there, unless of course you need the support, then definitely support. So we want to keep the pelvis over the knees, tucking the tailbone under, using the belly. And draw your shoulder blades toward each other, lift your chest up toward the ceiling. So you're opening into this little back bend. And as you make your way maybe a little bit deeper, if you release your fingers, do you feel your legs? Your ankles? Your heels? So keep the pelvis pressing forward. Try not to just collapse into it. Keep the back of the neck, the lower back nice and long. And again, find as much stretch as you need. So you can make this a really crazy big back bend, or you can just feel a nice stretch for the front of the body. What does your breath tell you to do? We're gently going to make our way back up again. Take your time here. Go ahead and sit back on your heels for a moment. And then I think I lied earlier. We've got one more down dog. So move your cushion out of the way. Gently take yourself into that down dog. And then let's come on down to the knees and we'll bring the legs around front. So beginning here with the legs extended out long, of course make sure that your pelvis is upright. Tall through the spine here. Let's stretch up. And we're going to come forward again. And just determine what your body wants from you. Sometimes it just needs a break here. And sometimes your body is nice and warm, so it wants to really get into that stretch very deeply. See what you need. With an inhale, we're coming back up. And then release the arms. So here, let's go ahead and step the left foot over the right leg. If this is not accessible, if it makes your pelvis sit weird or your foot won't be flat to the floor, it can be a little lower, a little higher. It can even be on the inside of the leg. So just see where it needs to be. And then you can hang on to it to help sit up tall. If that's what you need. Maybe this right leg needs to stay extended, but maybe you can bend at the knee and bring your heel in front of the left sit bone. But again, if that makes your pelvis tip or nothing will touch the floor anymore, The foundation is much more important. The nice neutral spine that you can, again, hang on to help happen here is more important than where this foot is. So from there, we're going to take the right arm, wrap it around the front of the shin here, and the left arm behind the back. And then you can use the arms and move into a little bit deeper twist. And maybe you're just feeling a nice sensation in the hips, and that's where you want to be. Maybe you need a deeper twist. You can take this elbow to the outside of the knee here, but a lot of times that brings our shoulder forward, and we don't really want it to be forward. We want it to be back. If you have the twist that allows it to stay back, then that's one thing. Right? But really just kind of be aware of that and listen to what your body is telling you. Sometimes we'd like to be places that we're just not yet. Or not today. So we're going to release the twist piece of this. And if this right leg is extended, bend it at least a little, right? So whatever that looks like, so that you can be as upright on the hips, pelvis as you can be. And then we're going to try and take the feet out in opposite directions. So your left foot is going to be moving out to the right, and your right foot is going to be moving out to the left. And maybe you have this straight line of your knees stacked-ish. So then you want to get the pelvis upright on the floor. And that might be the work, right? That left hip gets a little bit light here. So we want to root down in through our foundation and extend out through the crown of the head. You can stay here, or you can add in the arms, taking the right arm out and in front, left arm under, between, and maybe the palms come together. So relax your shoulders down, extend out the crown of your head, and maybe you can lift your elbows, keeping the shoulders down, maybe not. Find your foundation, lengthen your spine, and a nice stretch for your shoulders. We're going to take one more breath. Release your arms. So here's the fun part. And just play with it. Nobody can see you getting all confused and twisted up, right? So instead of being back on your pelvis, come forward, bringing the hands in front. And you can shove yourself up, it's all right. So come up on your toes here and lift your knees away from the floor. Keep your feet where they are. Take your hands, walk them to your right. And you're going to keep walking them to the right as you rotate toward the back of your mat. Keep walking them to the right, pivoting around on the bottom end of your foot until eventually you're back at the top of the mat. And you can set your knees back down on the floor, and then you can set your butt back down on the floor. So if you got all twisted up and confused, or your feet didn't cooperate in that little trick, right? We're on the second side. That's all. So the right foot is moving to the left foot is moving to the right. Maybe the shins are kind of stacked-ish, maybe not. The pelvis, again, we're working to keep it upright. So that right side might be a little light, and you can kind of wiggle around a little bit. Make it what it needs to be. Listen to your body, find where it needs to be. Let's take the left arm out and in front. Right arm under, between, fingers catch the palm maybe. Rest your shoulders, lift your elbows. And you can always just be grabbing shoulders here. So again, taking this as gentle and easy or not, as your body needs it to be. So then let's release the arms. And we have to twist on this second side. So the right foot is going to come flat to the floor. And maybe this left foot, heel in front of the sit bone, maybe the leg is extended out like we were earlier. And each side's a little different, so your right versus left. Take the left arm and wrap it, right arm behind the body, and get that in the twist. Let's take another nice big breath. And then unwind and extend the legs out longer. So give them a little bounce and a little shake here. And then we'll take the soles of the feet together. And make sure, of course, that there's some place to rock back to. Hang on to your ankles, draw your heels in, lift your chest. And then take it back just enough to balance here. Go ahead and C-curve in through the spine and roll on down. Leave the soles of the feet together, let them come to the floor, and just rest your legs out to the sides. You can take the hands at the tops of the thighs here, add a little gentle press away from the body. That's also a nice little release for the hip, but if it doesn't feel good, don't worry about doing that little piece. Make sure you're breathing. Find a nice aligned position for your spine. And then we'll bring the knees together and hug them back into the chest. Gentle little rock. So then taking the feet flat to the floor, let's go ahead and open the arms into a T position. We'll pick up the hips, take them over to the right edge of the mat, and let the legs fall to the left. Just checking in that the spine feels long, resting your shoulders back. Let the weight of your legs fall to the left. Even if this right shoulder pops up off the floor a little bit, just try to rest it back. Find the support of the floor. And then, of course, if you want a little bit extra, you can extend the right leg, taking your toes somewhere near your left hand. Doesn't have to be in. But even here, letting the leg just be heavy. So if it doesn't touch the floor, maybe bend the knee a little bit and let it go. Just so that side of your body can rest. Instead of squeeze to hold it up. Or you can, of course, maybe prop even, right? Foot won't come to the floor comes to you. And then we'll bend back at the knee if you took it straight. Gently make your way back to center. And then switch sides. So the hips over to the left and the knees fall to the right. Lengthen your spine, relax your shoulders, relax your legs. Whether they touch the floor or not. And of course, here the same thing, taking that left leg straight if you want a little bit deeper stretch. Let the leg feel heavy. Taking one more breath like here. And then bending back at the knee and coming back to center. Gently here, knees back into the chest. And let yourself rock. We'll squeeze the knees tight to the chest and draw the forehead in, rounding up through your spine. Release that into a full body stretch. Find extra space and length. And then release. Let the arms come back down by your sides. Find a comfortable position, just like we started. So again, if you need a little bit more of a prop to make you comfortable, then certainly take that. Otherwise, simply feeling the support of the floor. Letting the muscles rest. Releasing control of the breath. And as always, working to keep the mind in this place, this quiet, gentle, safe place. Always welcome to remain in this reclined position as long as you'd like. There is nowhere to go. But if you're ready, allow the breath to deepen. Restore gentle movements to your body. keeping your eyes closed, mind in this quiet, safe place. Slowly make your way back up to your seated position. Bringing the palms to touch. Round to the light within. Namaste. Thanks for coming today, you guys. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Stash this one because anytime you need a real low-key little stretch, hopefully that will do it for you. And remember, you can always hit the website. There are those little 5-minute meditations or the pranayama exercises that are on there. So you can get a little bit of this self-love anytime you need it, and it's really ridiculously important, isn't it? So thanks for coming. And that looks painful. All right, you guys, love you. Have a great weekend, and I hope to see you all soon. Bye.